Hey everybody, today's story is called Madlenka's Dog, and it's by Peter Cease. Peter Cease is the author and the illustrator, and he's one of the authors I met when I went to a conference with lots of cool authors one time. I'm going to take the book jacket off for two reasons. One is because sometimes when you're reading a book with the jacket on, it kind of flops around and gets to be annoying. But two, I want you to see what's under this, and I want you to see that there's a hole in the front of the jacket, and that Madlenka, the little girl, isn't really on the jacket, she's on the book cover. And that is just one of the cool tricks in this book by Peter Cease, who is a really cool author and illustrator. And when I met him, he actually signed this book for my daughter. You can see he took the picture in the front and kind of made it look like a dog with ears and eyes and a body and tail. And it's autographed to Peyton and her dog, Callie. And if you've watched the other videos on here, you've met both Peyton and Callie. Madlenka's Dog by Peter Cease. Published by Francis Foster Books. This book has a lot of cool maps inside and a lot of very detailed drawings. Peter Cease's illustrations have lots of cool detail in, and what I like best in this book is that in the top of each page as we get going, you'll see a map of exactly where Madlenka is. In the universe, on a planet, on a continent, in a country, in a city, in a house, on a block where everyone is walking a dog, there lives a girl. See how the words go around in here? Named Madlenka, who wants a dog very much. Have you ever really wanted a pet? Some of your classes I talked to you about how my daughter Emma really wanted a hamster. And some of you I told about Chi-Chi the Wonder Hamster. Well, it just so happens that right now Emma is cleaning out Chi-Chi's cage, and Chi-Chi is rolling around in her ball as I'm reading the story. So if you hear a lot of bumping and banging around, that's Miss Chi-Chi in her ball. Go, Cheech. Madlenka wants a dog, but her parents don't really think she should have one. I want a dog. Please, may I have a dog? Now, they don't tell us what her mom and dad's answer is, but we can tell from the illustration just the way their bodies are moving. Their answer is no. Oh, what's that? Come here, little one. We see lines like movement or noise, but we don't see anything. What do you think it is? I think Madlenka's found herself an imaginary pet. Let's go for a walk. How do you think you walk an imaginary dog? Don't pull, little doggy. Now, Madlenka lives in a big apartment building on a busy block in a big city like New York City, which is very different from Denver, Pennsylvania. So as we go around, we'll see the kinds of people that Madlenka runs into while she's out for a walk with her imaginary dog. And it'll be probably a little bit different than taking a walk down the street at your house. Let's go around the block. Madlenka and her dog meet Mr. Gaston, the baker. So here you can see her whole block, like we're standing up above looking down on it. And here's Madlenka, and there's Mr. Gaston, the baker. Hello, Mr. Gaston. I have a new dog. Now, do you think he'll say, no, you don't, or do you think he'll play along? Let's see. Bonjour, Madeleine. I once had a dog. Hello, dog. And can you see in the book that this is a flap? Told you this book had some cool things going on. You can lift his tray of croissants and see, I bet that's Mr. Gaston when he was a little boy, and that's his puppy. Can you tell what country Mr. Gaston's originally from? There's two important clues. One is in this picture. That's a very important famous landmark in the background. And number two is the way he says hello to Madlenka. He says, bonjour. Do you know where he's from? If you guessed France, you were right. Look, everyone, I'm walking my dog. Oh, he's white and short, says Mr. McGregor. Mr. McGregor's from another country, too. And if you look, you can see it's another flap. In this page, the flap is his drum. Can you tell from the picture of Mr. McGregor, from his name, McGregor, from the type of outfit he's wearing with a kilt, and from the Scotty dog? Mr. McGregor is Scottish. He's from Scotland. No, he's big and woolly, says Mr. Eduardo. Well, I like his spots, says the tourist. We've got two flaps. Mr. Eduardo is imagining a big woolly dog. Can you picture that in your head? Let's see it. Oh my, that is big and woolly. And the tourist back here says he has spots. See the suitcase will lift? There's the tourists imagining of a spotted dog. It looks like everybody's imagining a puppy they had or they knew at one time. Hey everybody, do you like my dog? Yes, yeah, hi. So you can see, as Madlenka walks around her neighborhood, she sees people from all different parts of the world. Sometimes big cities are like that. Over here, this man's holding a big case. What do you think goes in a case like that? It's for an instrument called a bass. And what dog do you think he's picturing? He didn't give us any clues. Oh, it's a big one. I like that dog. This woman back here is holding a bird cage, but instead of a bird, oh, it's got a long dachshund dog in it. And this girl over here is painting. It's a picture of a pot filled with flowers, but underneath is the dog she's imagining. A little short-haired dog. Now, I told you at the beginning that there were maps on each page, but we haven't really been paying a lot of attention to them, so I'm going to back up so that you can see them. As she starts her adventure, we saw her block right here. Now, we see it as a map. And Madlenka is going to go around the block. Madlenka is always going to be the red dot. And the people she meets get to be different colored dots. Mr. Gaston the baker is light blue. And then when we saw her other neighbors, they got different colored dots on the map. Do you see how she's going down the street? And on this page, she's gone around the corner. Now she's on the second part of the block. There's Madlenka, and there are all the people she sees. Hi, Cleopatra. I have a dog. Hi, Madlenka. I have a horse. Let's play in the courtyard. She's met her friend Cleopatra. And we know that Madlenka's dog is imaginary. What about Cleopatra's horse? That's imaginary too, isn't it? You can see now we're over here and there's an opening in the map. That goes into the space between all the buildings and that's called the courtyard. Do you see the entry into the courtyard in the illustration? Now, I want you to pay attention to Cleopatra's face as I turn the page. Because it's a cutout. And what was Cleopatra's face? Well, now, become Madlenkas. Do you think that's what the courtyard really looks like? I think they're pretending. That's some pretty awesome pretending. Madlenka's dog, Cleopatra's horse. I see a dragon on a mountain in the back. Now they're going to pretend and imagine something else. And again, this one that has Cleopatra's face is going to come over and become Madlenka's face. That same picture is coming through each page. Where do you think they are now? Is this a place you've studied maybe in art class or in social studies? They're in ancient Egypt. Do you see the pyramids? Oh, yep, the pyramids are back here and the Sphinx is in the back. There's an obelisk here. And here we go again. There's a hole. And it becomes Madlenka. Oh goodness, now there's someplace very cold and snowy, maybe the Arctic. But back here, it says, Madlenka, come home. And do you see how the dog and the horse have changed in each picture? Pretty cool. Now, there's one more hole. And they're back to themselves again. Bye-bye. See you later. And if you look at their dots, we're right back where we were. Let's go, little doggy. And here goes Madlenka. But do you remember all those dogs that all the different people imagined as Madlenka met them? Uh-oh. I think all those imaginary dogs are following her home. I'm home. Oh my. I love the end of this book because they make you a chart. Peter Cease makes a chart for you of all of the different types of dogs that he put into the book, and then some other kinds too. And if you get close, you can see all the characters and then the kinds of dogs next to them, which I think is really cool. And if you'd like to see it even better, sometime when we're back at school, ask me about that book, Madlenka's Dog. And if you want to do something extra, I want you to draw a picture of the kind of dog you'd have if you could have any kind of dog you wanted. Maybe it's the kind of dog that you really do have. Maybe it's the kind you've always wished for. Or maybe it's a completely imaginary, made-up kind of dog. If you make a picture, you can take a picture of it and send it to me. You can email it to me, or you can bring it to me when we're back in school. All right, thanks for imagining with me today. We'll see you again tomorrow.